Hello, my name is Louie. I'm from your Discount Computer, and I'm going to be giving an Apple Computer tutorial for beginners and those coming from a PC or Windows environment. I'm going to be going over some of the basics and sort of translating what those basics are for people coming from the PC or Windows background or just beginners, excuse me. And be sure at the end of the video to leave any comments or suggestions you have for other videos or any questions you may have. But I believe I should be going over all the basics that everyone needs getting started. Alright, so I'm just going to start off by saying this is the desktop and this is how it should look more or less depending on your operating system. The desktop picture might be different, but everything else should be nearly identical. I haven't done anything except for downloading this app that has the red circle that you see around the mouse, and I'll leave a link for that in the description below if that interests you, but that's just for this video and it helps keep me on track and keep us on track. But basically this is how it looks when you first log in. And the first thing I want to go over is the Apple icon here at the top left screen. This is called the Apple menu. So this is where you can access a lot of the basic features for your Apple computer. So first know that your system preferences are right here, right? So when you click it, there's a number of system preferences, right? And this is similar to going into the control panel on a Windows computer. And here you can specify things like how long it'll take your computer to go to sleep, where you can add new users to use the computer, what kind of internet connection you want to use, and even what language you'd like for your computer. Right, so all these sorts of things are found in the system preferences. Again, very similar to the control panel in a Windows computer. Now with system preferences open, all you need to do to close it is click on this little red dot right here at the top left, and it's like an X on a Windows computer when you're closing a window or application like that. So you just click it and it sort of just goes away. And so there's a couple more things I'd like to mention in the Apple menu. We spoke about system preferences a bit, but this is also where you can put your computer to sleep, right? Or where you can restart your computer, where you could shut it down, or where you want to log out of your computer and log into another different account. So remember, this Apple menu is very important. You'll likely use it every day when you shut down your computer, and also this is where your system preferences at. Right, so that's the Apple menu right there. And the next thing I want to talk about is it's at the very top right where it looks like a magnifying glass. You guys see that right here? This is called Spotlight, and this is where you could search for pretty much anything on your computer. You could search for files, you can search for folders, anything, even applications, excuse me. In a little bit, I'm going to show you how you can access the applications folder and how you can access Finder on your Apple computer, which is like clicking on the start menu on a Windows computer. But be aware, if you're looking for something, you can always click on the magnifying glass and search for it directly. So for example, let's say I wanted to open an application like Safari. And we're going to go over Safari here in a few minutes, but Safari is like the Internet Explorer in a Windows computer. It's the native application on Apple computers to access websites on the internet. It's the internet browser. So if you notice here, instead of having to go to my applications folder, or on a Windows computer you would go to Start and Programs, I could just go straight by searching on Spotlight to find the application, and I just use and you click it here, right? And there it is. So I'm going to click that. So when you can't find something, just remember to go up here to the magnifying glass, that's Spotlight, and you can search for whatever you're looking for. And basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll just go ahead and close out of that for now. And now the next thing I want to talk about is a toolbar or dock at the very bottom of the screen right here, right? And it's like the toolbar you'd see in a Windows computer, but looks a little different, obviously. But by default, you'll notice there's a good number of applications here ready to use. So one of them is Safari. And again, that's the internet browser we're going to use in a few minutes, and I'll open it up so we can see it for a little longer what that looks like. If you mouse over these applications, it'll tell you what they are. So here's Mail, where you can connect your email accounts, so you can receive your mail here on your Apple computer. There's also Contacts, which is like an address book. You can put phone numbers, you can keep addresses. There's also Calendar, where you can create events and meetings that you'll have coming up. And there's a notes app here as well if you can write little notes. And if you have an iPhone or an iPad, those notes will be on those devices if you already have synced through iCloud. There's also Siri, kind of like the iPhone, exactly like the iPhone, I should say, or similar to Alexa, which is a personal assistant that when you click on it, you could speak to it and it can help you with things like checking the weather, movie times, directions, sending text messages, setting appointments and reminders, or even just to help you search the internet, browse for whatever you'd like, right? But I won't go over all of these apps, but one that I really, really want to go over is the one all the way over here on the far right, right? This is the App Store. This is where you can download any application and program that you want to run on your Apple computer. Also, some app stores might look a little different depending on your operating system, but they're all pretty similar and intuitive. So I'm going to open that up. So you can search for apps based on category that they're in. So if we click on one thing, guys, some of these apps are free, some of them are paid for, and you can feel free to explore this on your own. But one thing you might want to consider is going into categories, and this might be found at the top for those with a different operating system, but for Mojave, it's here on the left. Like I was saying, you can search for apps based on category that they're in. You have all these right here. You have entertainment, you have business, but I'm just going to pick on productivity, for example. You're able to see applications here that are paid for with their prices. Some are free, and kind of like this one, Pages right here is a free word processor that's similar to Microsoft Word. Or like this app here, Keynote, is like PowerPoint, and Numbers is like Excel. However, you can also run Microsoft Office on your computer as well. In this example, the App Store shows Microsoft Word is free with in-app purchases. So there are some things to purchase there. So like I said, explore around the different categories. If you're looking for something specific, like a specific app, you can go straight to the magnifying glass here from the Apple App Store. So anything here is definitely searchable if you have one in mind. And guys, everything here in the App Store, they're completely safe and free from viruses or malware because Apple has approved them to be downloaded right from the Apple App Store. So anything here is definitely safe to download. And again, don't be afraid to check them out, see what you like, and it's safe. And again, to close out the App Store, you can click here at the red dot, or actually click over here at the App Store menu, and you can click quit to completely quit it out, and it's not running in the background. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is Finder. And to access Finder, you're going to click on the smiley face here on the bottom left corner of your screen, and when we click that, a window appears. And Finder is like Windows Explorer, excuse me, on a Windows computer. It allows us to access all the files, folders, and locations on your computer. So starting out, you'll notice you have a few locations here on the left. So I could click on, applications. And what I'm actually going to do, is make this a little bigger, and you could do that by clicking and holding and dragging just so I get a sort of a better view. And what you might actually notice, I have a bit more applications because even though this is a new user account, it still has all the applications I've installed on my other account. So if you're looking for an application like, let's say, Calculator, this is where you can access it from the applications folder. So you'll notice that you have a documents folder over here. This is just a folder that Apple has created automatically for you to store all your documents. So while we're here in Finder, I want to show you how to create a new folder because I'm sure that you're going to have different categories and you're going to want to organize them a little bit. So creating a new folder is the same on an Apple computer as it is on a Windows computer. You're just going to right click, and if you're on a laptop, you're going to use two fingers on the mouse pad or the trackpad. Or if you're using a Apple desktop computer, to right click, you would click the control button on your keyboard at the same time as clicking your mouse. So clicking those two together would be a right click on an Apple desktop computer. You're going to right click and click on new folder. And when you do that, a new folder is created. And you could just type a name for it as well. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to call this example folder. All right, so you just have that. So I'll just call this example folder there. And remember guys, if at any time in this video you're following along, you need to pause or rewind or fast forward, feel free to do that. So if you want to pause and create some folders on your own, kind of explore some of the things I've done, like maybe system preferences, feel free to do that. Like I said, create some folders, get used to organizing. There's something here in Finder that I want to show you actually that I think is going to be very helpful as you use your computer a bit. So I'm going to shrink this a bit right here by clicking on the yellow. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go to preferences. We're going to click on Finder once more, I'm sorry. And we're going to click up here at Finder at the top, and we're going to find preferences. Now here, we need to select, let me move that here. We need to select a few options. First off, go ahead and check mark where it says hard disks. You see where it says that right there? And you'll notice when you do this that a little hard drive icon appears on the top right of your screen. So this is the basic area of your computer. If you access this hard drive, here you're able to access, let me click that. Here you're able to access all of your computer's folder structures, right? See what they are. It's like going to my computer on a Windows computer, and it's helpful to have that icon here for quick access. Next thing I'm just gonna exit this out. In Finder Preferences is click on Sidebar of our Finder window. And I think here it's important to click these right here, movies, music, pictures, and mine says your discount computer right here, which is my username. So for you, that will be whatever you named your user account. So make sure that that is checked as well. And then we'll go ahead and click the red dot on the top left corner. And you'll notice we have a few more of those locations available here on your Finder window. All these here are where they'll store, right? So you have, if you click on downloads, you'll be able to see all the things that you've downloaded off the internet onto your computer. Or if you've saved files in your downloads folder, but usually from the internet, go straight to this download folder here. So if you can't find something that you downloaded on your computer, just click Finder, then go to downloads, and it should be here. And for example, like my highlighter is right here because I downloaded that today for this video. And like I said, movies, music, and pictures are exactly that. They store movies, music, and pictures. And this little house icon that I just clicked on, that we just added over from our sidebar, is called our home folder. And when you click on that, you'll see this is the basic folder where all my other folders in my user account are located. So I can access my desktop, my documents, my downloads, and everything like that just by, clicking on my home folder here. This is how you will navigate your computer when you're organizing files or when you're trying to find something you downloaded from the internet. And remember, like I said earlier, if you don't want to go through Finder to find something, you can always use the spotlight search here at the top still. So now there's a couple things I want to show you. I want to mention these two other little buttons here at the top. I kind of skimmed over them a bit. We've talked about the red one that closes the window. So I just closed this window right here. But let me open it up again. And I click on the Finder and I opened it up and it comes back up again. And let me go ahead and close that one more time just so you guys get that practice. And I'm going to click on this hard drive as well, and you'll notice that it opens up another Finder window as well, but just in a different location. It brings me to a very basic location on my computer where I could work from. Now back to these here, the little yellow icon at the top will minimize your current window. So when I click that, you'll notice that it shrinks down here to my toolbar. Right, went down here, and if you click it, the toolbar comes right back. This works the same if you're in Safari, the internet browser that is like Internet Explorer, which we'll look at a sec. But if you're in Safari and you click the little yellow icon as well, it'll shrink, go into the toolbar, and you click it and it'll come back. The little green is to resize your window. I don't personally use this too much. Instead of resize my window, I just drag it from the corners like that. So you kind of get like a better idea. That's what I do. So you can drag it from these two sides to make it bigger, but just remember, yellow minimizes. You can see the little minus symbol here. and red closes the actual window. So I'm going to do that. And now I'm going to go into, let me once more go into Finder. And I'm going to go into Documents right here, where I have the example folder created. So when starting out with your Apple computer, one thing that's important is to know how to delete things, right? So it works very similar to how it's done on Windows, and you can delete things in multiple ways. One of the ways is by clicking on the folder, like this, and dragging it all the way to the trash can, right? And let go. You drag and you let go. And it'll move out of my documents folder, and now you could see when I click, there's some garbage, right? In my trash. You see that little garbage right there? And if I click on my trash and I open it up, here's my example folder. From here, I can hit empty to empty the trash, or I can right click. And remember, we right click by clicking the trackpad if you're on a laptop with 2 fingers, or if you're on a desktop, you click shift and the mouse at the same time, right? And select put back, and it'll take out my trash and put it back where it came from. So here it is, back into my documents. And another way to delete a file, or folder, is to right click on the file itself, and you could just put move to trash. If you know you don't need anything in your trash, you can simply go to the bottom right corner and right click the trash. You could also click empty trash. Sometimes it asks you if you're sure you want to empty the trash. We're going to say yes, empty the trash. And yeah, it'll no longer be on your computer. It won't be taking up space on your computer. And hope your computer ran a little faster, hopefully. Now let me go ahead and close this Finder window by clicking on the red. And now let's open up Safari, because most of the things that we do usually on the computer is internet driven. So what you do here is you go down to the toolbar, you're going to click and select Safari, and which looks like a little compass. And when you click, you'll notice a new window popped up, and this is our internet browser, just like Internet Explorer, Firefox, or Google Chrome. I personally like Google Chrome. It's just a little faster in my experience. You can have some cool add-ons that helps with pop-ups or ads, but Safari is a great internet browser as well, so we're just going to stick to that for now since it comes pre-installed with your Apple computer. But if you'd like to download Google Chrome or Firefox, you can simply search here in the search bar for Google Chrome or Firefox, and you can download it from there. So here in Safari on the search bar, like I said, mentioned just now, can both search Google and enter a web address up here at the top. So I can, for example, type in yourdiscountcomputer.com, and that should take you to our website. Let me see. And you can go to any website that you like to use. And at the same time, you can just search as if it were Google, right? So let's say you just wanted to search up Apple, right? Not apple.com, but Apple. And what Google does is automatically search for the most popular results that go with that term. So for example, Apple here would lead to apple.com, and maybe some things in your area like Apple Barton Springs, which is a school, and some news articles that concern Apple. But if I probably scroll enough, I'll eventually see actual apples, like an apple tree or something. So that's what the search bar does there. One last thing I'd like to mention before we go is feel free to play around with your Apple computer. I'm going to quit Safari by going up here and quit Safari. But go ahead into your Finder or your hard drive and select these folders. Try creating folders, try organizing things, download stuff from the internet, install some applications, navigate through the App Store, see if you can find something that you like. A lot of this is very intuitive, and it gets really fun, and then you'll be really quick. Mess around with your system preferences. There's so many things you can do to customize it, like your background, your desktop, how fast you want your mouse to be, printers and scanners. It's all very intuitive. If you just go over and you look over each of these things and see how each of these things can really, really help you. Like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just by going over each of these things and clicking them, you can really see and really learn just by reading what a lot of these things that you can do with the Apple computer. So let me go ahead and click these out. And guys, I hope this helped you get a little introduced to your Apple computer. You know how to access the internet, you know how to shut down, restart, you know how to create and delete folders and files, and you learned how to change some settings using the system preferences. And that's pretty much it. Go ahead and try out some of the things we went over in this tutorial. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe. And feel free to comment below with anything you'd like to see on the next video or anything that I didn't cover here. Thank you again for your time. Have a good one.